a sign of the incredible strength of our Atlantic Canada delegation. This guy, my bodyguard, Jeff Regan and Mike Savage, Senators Cowan and Phelan. I think I see Jim Munson there, for heaven's sake. We got the whole team out here, and it's a very, very good and strong team, and a lot of its strength comes from Atlantic Canada. La Chambre de commerce de Halifax, c'est quelque chose que je ne savais pas. La Chambre de commerce de Halifax est à la fois la plus ancienne chambre de commerce en Amérique du Nord.
In North
Bravo.
America.
Bravo. This is the oldest chamber of commerce in North America, and it's one of the things that you should feel very proud of in the city of Halifax. And so it's the right place to start a national conversation about the economic challenges we face. You know the realities. Many of you are senior business leaders. You're in the front lines. You know that the Prime Minister was wrong about the economy. On the 27th of November, in a failed economic statement, the Conservative government said there wouldn't be a recession in Canada. 12 days later, the Bank of Canada announced that Canada was actually in a recession. You know that retail sales in Nova Scotia fell nearly 3% in 1 month, the largest decline in an awfully long time. You know that the composite index, Canada's leading composite index, suffered the largest monthly decline in 18 years. The housing index fell by 6%. Nova Scotia lost 6,000 jobs. Magna, Bowater, Fundy Gypsum. The declines in construction and wholesale trade, in fishing, farming, mining, everywhere you look. Steep loss of jobs for young people, and I know that one of the drivers of the Atlantic economy is that you have world-class post-secondary education. And we are looking at an economy that is no longer, at the moment, able to employ all the incredibly talented people coming out of Atlantic Canada. So there's real pain and there's real suffering. It's not just that you lose your job at Gypsum. You've got a son who's got diabetes, has substantial medical costs. You can only meet those costs if you're on a company health plan, right? It's not just you're worried about your job. You're suddenly worried about stuff you never had to worry about before. This is the reality that we as a country have to look at and face. And we can't say it's happening to someone else. It's happening to our neighbor. It's happening to our friend. It's happening to our son or daughter. It's happening to us. When the bottom falls out under the housing market, you know, the builders stop building houses. They need less lumber. They need less gyprock. Local businesses start shutting their doors. Clerks lose their jobs. Salespeople see their commissions disappear. This is the world we're living. Parents don't know how to pay for their kids' clothes, let alone put aside money for a college fund. Over Christmas in Etobicoke Lakeshore, what did I do with my Liberal Riding Association? We packed groceries at the local food bank. I love that food bank, but I don't want a Canada in which Canadians have to depend on food bank for their food. And I know from that food bank that more Canadians are turning to food banks for their food. This is not the Canada you want. C'est pas le Canada que je veux.
This is not the Canada that I want either.
Ça, c'est le côté négatif.
This is the negative side, but the good side of things is also very important. It is that Canadians have a worry about their co-citizens. We are doing everything for one another. No Canadian will be facing alone no job and poverty. We will, I'm repeating that, we will be living this economic crisis together, but we'll get out of it together.
We're going to go into this together. We're going to confront it together, and we're going to beat it together. That's the key message. This is a test of the unity, cohesion, discipline, and courage of our country. And we will not fail that test. I'll do my part as a political leader. People think the only thing on my mind is to find the fast road to 24 Sussex. Let me tell you something, so there's no mistake about that. I am not looking for the fast road to 24 Sussex. I'm looking for the fast road out of the recession. That's our job as politicians. It's very important that you hear that. We've got a budget to assess on the 26th of January. This is a moment when politicians have to raise their game and ask truly the question, what is in the national interest of our country? And meet that test and put that budget to that test. Why am I here? So we figure out what the national interest is, what the test is that we have to stack that budget up against. That's the agenda this afternoon. We're not in good shape at the moment. This is a government that entered this recession without a plan, without foresight, without planning. They've displayed an astonishing lack of competence in the last 18 months. But Canadians want a government they can trust. We're all big boys and girls here. We can stand the truth, and we haven't had the truth from the Canadian government about where we are and where we need to go to dig this car out of the ditch. Canadians want elected officials who listen, so that's why we're here to listen. Scott and John and I are here to listen. The fundamental message is, first, we've gone into this together and we're going to come out of this together. But the second message is just as important. Every crisis, my fellow Canadians, is an enormous opportunity. It's an enormous opportunity which we must seize. We can do great things together. We can restore hope. We can jumpstart job creation. We can lay the foundations for a stronger economy. And yes, that has to be a greener, more energy efficient economy. We can find new ways to do things now. We can save the jobs of today, and we can create the jobs of tomorrow. Nous avons besoin de leaders. Nous avons besoin d'un gouvernement.
We need a government. We need the truth on data of the country, economic data, and we need also political leaders who have the interests of the country. And the first,
we need a government, we need a parliament that puts Canada and the country first. If you'll allow me one final note, I have the unique distinction of being probably the only Canadian in the world who has two members of his family who both wrote biographies of Nova Scotia's greatest man, Joe Howe. How about that? My great-grandfather, no, it's a true story. My great-grandfather wrote a biography of Joe Howe, whose statue is maybe 400 yards away, and my grandfather wrote a biography. I don't know how they ended up doing that, but they did. So Joe Howe's been a hero all my life. And Joe Howe said a great thing, which we should remember and should be above the doors of Parliament. The only questions I ask myself are, what is right, what is just, and what is for the public good? And that's what we have to talk about this afternoon. Thank you so much.